Well, hello there, American Farmsteaders. This is Jonna at Hazelbell Farm and my friend Jenny at the Gramstead Family Farm, and we are here today to talk to you about life lessons from the garden.
Yes, life lessons from the garden, and really some of them are just from the farm too.
Yeah, definitely. Some of these came from the barn for me. So, before we get started, though, we just want to remind you to check out our Facebook page at AmericanFarmSteadHers, and check out you can send us an email. You can message us if you have any questions or topic ideas, things that you want to hear about at AmericanFarmSteadHers@gmail.com.
Yep.
And also find each of our farm pages there, also on Facebook and on YouTube. Anything that we're talking about is stuff that's going on in our farms, and you can find more information about that at our YouTube channels as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's going on with your farm this week, Jenny?
Well, we were out of town all week, so this past week was really about getting home and recouping, and I'm happy to report that there were no bullfights.
Yay.
Nobody busted through any fences while we were gone.
Praise Jesus.
Yes. But, so that was good, but unfortunately I came home to early tomato blights.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of what the weather was like when you were gone.
Well, we did get a lot of rain.
Yeah.
We got a lot of rain. So those particular tomatoes got kind of off to a rough start. Like early on, they were kind of yellowy, and I kind of had to baby them for a little bit, and they bounced back. And they were fine when I put them in, but I came back and they were like really yellow and had brown spots all over them. And I'm talking like 18 tomato plants.
Oh my goodness.
So I did a hard prune on everybody, even though they're all pretty small and they were pretty pruned anyway.
And they're in the ground.
They're in the ground,
okay.
yeah. And I last night sprayed them with some Fertilome, and we'll just hope for the best. But I checked on my peppers, and now my peppers have a few little spots as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, mine are not in the ground, my tomatoes or my peppers. My tomatoes are okay. They look a little bit phosphorus deficient. But I mean, they're in pots still,
Right.
And so it's easy for them to run out of anything. But my peppers, I did notice this morning, I've got a little bit of, looks like bacterial wilt. So
Okay.
I got to hit that.
Yeah, so I'm just going to try to stay on top of it, spray them every week, and hope for the best. And I do have more tomato plants, though.
Oh. Shocking.
Up on the porch.
Shocker.
Right. So I might, if they don't start looking good or looking like they're going to recoup, I might, just make a new tomato area somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, that's part of that experimentation. I think that's good that you can have multiple spaces of the same thing. And I mean, if you have the room for it, that you can do that and figure out where they do better, which might change from year to year too.
Yeah.
What's going to work.
So we'll see. If worse comes to worse, I'll pull them and plant a bunch of pole beans where they are. That way I can use the trellis space. So,
oh yeah. I need a lot of trellis this year. I'm finding. I've grown several gardens. I don't ever remember needing so much trellis space.
Every time I turn around, I think I need a new trellis.
Yeah, I do.
Before it's all said and done, the whole garden's going to be trellis.
I think so. But so what's the point of a trellis is to support, right? Is that wrong?
Yeah,
it's like saying, well, you're sheltering your kids. Well, I'm sorry. Isn't that my job?
Right. To shelter is to protect.
Right. So I'm trellising all the things.
Right. Right. Well, and just like in life, hey, maybe that's our first lesson.
Maybe.
Everybody needs a little support.
That's right. Yeah, I had put in some like little baby eggplants about a week ago. And that, we've had a lot of wind over the last week. And I noticed right away, like, I might need to stake those little babies. I mean, they're only like 6 or 7 inches tall.
Yeah.
And they're in my boxes, so they've got a little bit of protection with the lip of the box, but they need some support.
Yeah.
All the things.
They all need support. I heard this cute little thing one time about peppers. Peppers need to hold hands.
Yeah.
They need a friend to hold hands with. And so you plant them close enough together where they're holding hands.
Yes.
So everybody needs a friend.
Everybody needs a hug. That's right. That's right. All the introverts just cringe. Don't touch me. Don't be in my space. That's funny. So.
Yep.
Well, I'm in this mood of trying to just button things up around here. Before it gets like crazy garden season.
Yes.
I mean, it's garden season. We're like in the throes of it, but it's not like
right
where I'm out there for hours a day.
Yeah. It's just the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, other things around the farm, things like, I'm making lists on my phone of all the projects that need to happen. And then I'm going through to figure out which ones can I do myself.
Yes.
To, farm like a girl.
Yeah.
So there are some like light construction things that I'm going to try to tackle on my own. And things like the chicken coop needs an automatic waterer. It just does.
Yes.
And I'm sorry. I'm really tired of bleaching out chicken waterers every day.
Right.
So, refilling. I like to just like clean the gunk out, let it refill, and they're good.
Yeah.
So just like little minor things that will make my daily routine easier outside, so that I can focus on the crazy busy garden season when it hits.
Yeah.
And just like in general things in life, like, I mean, you just walk through my garage, Jenny, and there's like an inch of sand in my garage that everybody's walking through to walk in the house. Till you get to the doormat that has 2 inches of sand on it,
Well, thank goodness for the doormat then.
Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, just like the little things like that are driving me absolutely crazy to the point that I'm just wandering around figuring out what's going to make life easier.
Yes.
And so,
it's got to flow. Everything's got to make sense because, people will ask me like, how do you do all this? Well, if you really put some thought into how you're set up, it really shouldn't take a whole bunch of time. So
maybe that needs to be a topic all on its own one day of like how to
plan.
Yeah.
Yes. Planning the homestead. Absolutely.
Yeah. Making it work with life.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're still doing laundry and all the dirty dishes and, making it to kids' baseball games and like life.
Yeah.
So trying to fit it all in and figure out how to best make it flow. That's a good word. How to make it flow.
Yep.
So we did get some good news this last week though, since our last podcast. So we had a vet visit. That was part of my buttoning things up.
Yes.
We just had an overall well check visit with a farm vet. He's a newer guy in the area and we weren't established with him. And our current vet is on the brinks of retirement.
Yes.
So
time to transition.
Yes, exactly. And when you have a farm emergency, like there's a cow down, I can't load her onto a trailer and take her in town to the small animal vet. So I need to be established so that when I do have an emergency, I can call with that and he'll come.
Yes.
So we had that. He came out last week, kind of gave everybody a once over, got some meds to have on hand. And I asked him about one particular heifer of ours who we had artificially inseminated, and her blood work came back negative. And I said, I think it was wrong. I feel like it's wrong. She's round, and you can blood test on day 28 after insemination, and we did that because I was so excited. Sent it to the lab, and it came back
on day 28.
On day 28, exactly. I sent it to the lab, and her test came back that she was not bred, and I just was crushed because I just knew, I knew we had it right, we had the timing right. She had to be, and so I even called the lab and asked a month later because I didn't see her come back in the heat, and asked what are the chances of getting a false negative? And it's 0.00 something percent. And I feel like calling them back.
Right.
Because she's bred.
She's pregnant.
She's pregnant. So the
Yay.
vet came, he palpated and confirmed that she's pregnant, and he said she's right on track for her due date.
Perfect.
Which is super. She will be due in August.
Nice. That's not that far away.
It's not. No, she'll be our second one due that we know of.
Awesome.
Because we got the new girls we talked about, and we don't know any of their history really.
Right.
So if they're even bred, we don't know yet. But anyways, yeah, she's due in August, and we're stoked.
That is awesome.
So that was really good news for us, because we were kind of getting down on the whole artificial insemination thing is new to us, and we were starting to get, just wondering, like, is this the right choice? Should we go ahead and think about a bull as far as sustainability goes? And I don't know. It just was good news.
Yeah.
It kind of changed our tune.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep, we're glad. So, that's it. That's about it as far as what's new for us. Planting still.
Yes. Always planting.
Yeah.
I did another seed order. I got some stuff that I didn't have. A Florida variety spinach. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's supposed to grow well in the heat. I got some roselle, which I've never done before, which I know you have, and you've had really good luck with.
Yes, we did roselle 2 years ago. We didn't do it last year because we moved.
Yeah.
But I still have a bunch of dried roselle that we use in tea this summer. Yeah, it's good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and Seminole pumpkin.
Yay! That's fun.
Yeah. So
cool.
I just couldn't resist.
Have you done this before?
Nope.
No. So that's your new.
Yep,
your new thing.
that's my new. Peanuts are your new.
Yeah, I'm so excited about peanuts.
Yeah, my sister, when they first moved to their property, before they started building their house, she did a garden, and they did peanuts, and they did well, and it was an easy grower.
Yeah.
So
I have a friend who grew them.
Out.
Yeah, she grew them last year and said they were the easiest crop she's ever grown.
Okay.
We're here in the South, so that adds up. And they have beautiful little flowers. I remember seeing there were yellow flowers, and seeing hers. They would close up in the evening and then open again in the morning.
Nice.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fun to go out and see that happening in creation. And then, she said digging them up was easy. They dried easily. She didn't have any pest or disease problems at all.
Nice.
So she saved some seed back for me, and I just planted those this week, and I just can't wait.
Nice.
because it's new. And we love boiled peanuts here. So, I mean, we like all the peanut things.
Right.
So, but I was reading, I wish I remember. I wish I wrote it down. But it takes like some ridiculous amount of peanuts to make an ounce of peanut butter. Like, well, I'm not doing it for the peanut butter, but that's good to know.
It's like making tomato paste.
Right.
Right. You need like a ridiculous amount of tomatoes, and then you end up with like 4 jars.
And cook it for like 12 years.
4 jam jars.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we don't do tomato paste.
I did that
here.
once. It was amazing.
Yeah, I've done it once. Also, and never again.
Never again.
No, you know what we do for that? We so I don't usually peel my tomatoes before canning because I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
But I do, like right now I have some tomatoes in the freezer to can, and because they all came in at the same time before our last frost, or I'm sorry, before our first frost. And so they just went in bags in the freezer. I didn't have time to deal with them. And so when I take those out, they will slip out of their skins easily. And I'll take those skins and dehydrate them and powder them. And then add that as a thickener to some tomato-based stuff.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so that's a good little backup thing if you don't want to make tomato paste because it takes too much.
Never again.
Too much tomatoes and too much time.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get on with the topic today, and that is life lessons from the garden/farm.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And they happen all the time.
All the time. So these are things that Jenny and I have been kind of marinating on for quite a while because, like she said, they do happen all the time. They come up, and we've both mentioned that that's where God speaks to us is in the garden. I mean, amongst other places, but frequently there. And so if you're listening, we're kind of coming at this where we are both Christians, and we have a biblical worldview. And that's not to say that you have to. We hope that you'll still listen, but that's our perspective when we talk through these.
Yes, because either way, they are good life lessons.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, well, why don't you start?
Well, I'll start off by just saying that with life, with the garden, with the farm, with your marriage, with your kids, you're gonna get out what you put into it. You are gonna reap what you sow.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. All the time. So, it's just true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're putting quality time into it, then you're going to get quality out of it.
Yes.
If you're putting, I was going to say attention, but that's kind of like time. But
right.
if you're putting love into it, you're going to get love out of it.
That's right.
And that's not to say that that's why we do things when we serve others in our lives, but that's the lesson from the garden. That's why we do it in the garden.
Yes.
We put our attention in the garden to get the fruits, and the fruits of a marriage that we give attention to, or a relationship that we give attention to, is going to be that much better.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're always going to reap what you sow.
That's a good one.
Yep.
That's a good start. All right. You want to add to that at all? Or you want to go on?
Amendments.
Amendments, yeah. So kind of flowing into that amendments are necessary.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes. Not, in the garden and with your kids, you always might need to be sprinkling a little something extra.
Right. Changing up what's not working.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always going to be necessary.
Yeah.
All right, how about you can't control everything, but you sure can be prepared for a lot?
That is so true.
Yeah.
You can prepare for all the things in the garden, or prepare for all the emergencies that might come up.
Right. Right.
But we can't control them. And sometimes it just comes down to the simple fact that we can be prepared, but ultimately we just need to be still and let God.
Right. Leave some space for him.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let him work. Let him do his thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I came out of that because, I have all of these things. I mean, just like the amendments, and having to make changes in my raised garden beds and having to make changes in my relationships. But having things on hand to be prepared in the garden for disease or pests or, whatever. Maybe it's the little washers that go in the water hose sprinkler. That if you don't have that, you cannot water your bed. Whatever, whatever it is that you can try to be prepared for, kind of that sentiment flows into life. All the things we see right now happening in the world that we know a lot of people are trying to be prepared for.
Yeah.
What we're being told by our authorities and government. That are happening and are going to happen that we're trying to prepare for, it's out of our control. It's out of our hands. There's no reason to be anxious about it.
Right.
We can't borrow tomorrow's worry today.
No, we cannot.
Right. But there are things that we can do to be prepared for that. And so, in the garden, that means I keep all of those pest control things we talked about last week. And in life, that means I'm going to grow some extra food this year.
Yep, absolutely. And it means that we sometimes just have to take the bad with the good.
Right. That's right.
Because sometimes bad's going to happen, and it doesn't matter how we prepare for it. It's ultimately probably going to happen.
something bad's going to happen.
Like my tomato blight in my garden right now.
That sucks. It just sucks. But you know what? That's part of growing.
It is.
It's part of it. You're still going to get tomatoes one way or another.
That's right.
It just might not be as easy. Which, we didn't have this written down, but this is kind of a life mantra of mine, is that the hard stuff is the good stuff.
Yep.
And that certainly applies there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and since if the hard stuff is the good stuff, sometimes when you're in the garden pulling weeds, you'll end up finding something beautiful.
Yeah.
Like a few weeks ago, I was just going to town pulling weeds. I really wasn't paying attention to what I was pulling because in my eyes, in front of me, in that bed full of weeds, it was all weeds.
Right.
So I'm not really paying attention to what I'm pulling. And all of a sudden, I pull up this giant carrot. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Surprise!
Right. And it hit me. It's like, oh my gosh, like sometimes you got to do the ugly weed pulling to get to the beautiful thing.
That's true. That's true. Sometimes that beautiful thing is just a beautiful, empty, blank slate of a garden bed.
Yeah.
Ready to be worked for something new to go in.
Yeah.
But to find that treasure is so exciting. So yeah, how does that apply in life? Like, what are the things that you're picking out and wading through to find the beautiful thing?
Right. And if you do enough picking and enough wading through those ugly things, you'll get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I agree. Yeah. And so, when we talk about the things that we're trying to weed out, like, what's the biggest thing that you're trying to weed out of your life all the time?
Is sin.
That would be sin, right?
Right.
Right. So weeding out sin, and you can't just
you can't just pick at it.
right, like dollar weed.
Right.
Like what happens when you decapitate all the dollar weed?
Right.
It comes back. Like
it continues to grow.
It's almost stronger, I
Yep.
feel like. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you've got to pull it out by the root.
Yeah. If you're not dealing with it from the root, it will creep back up into your life, into your garden, into your friendships, your marriage, whatever. You got to get that stuff out by the root.
That's right. That's right. And maybe that means like something that you have to personally take responsibility for and step up and make a change.
Right.
Maybe it's something that, a difficult conversation you have to have with somebody, or an apology made, or something that needs to change in a relationship. And, that's the only way it's going to happen is to get in there and actively do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, those weeds are just going to keep growing.
They will keep coming back. And,
Yeah.
if you keep at it, you'll pull a carrot.
That's right. That's right. But if you don't, and the weeds take over, they choke out the good. They choke out the carrot.
Yes.
Or whatever else you're trying to get those weeds away from.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good way to live.
No.
No. No. Let's see. I feel like we missed one, but mine are all out of order, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I have to look through.
Well, in some days when you're doing all that dirty work and pulling those weeds and doing the things that are necessary to be done, some days, literally, you get shit on your hands all day.
All day.
All day.
All day.
It happens on the farm often.
All the
where
time.
You'll just have one of those days that every time you turn around, you go into the chicken coop, there it is on your hand.
Yeah.
You go out to feed the cows, there it is on your shirt.
Yeah.
Some days are like that, but you just gotta, again, take the bad with the good, roll with the punches, and just clean yourself up and keep on going.
Keep on trucking. Yeah, and maybe there's a lesson in there that, maybe there's a place where God's trying to get to you there.
Right.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's slow down and pay attention, so that instead of just grabbing the egg with the crap all over it, you slow down and pay attention,
Right.
So in life, like sometimes we get caught in these places where it just feels crappy. I mean, and it just feels like there's no way out. I mean, I know that there's so many people dealing with heavy stuff and, depression. That's just dark.
Yeah.
And that's just a season of life.
Yeah, and I, really firmly believe that there's a reason why the good Lord made the seasons. It's just to show us that nothing is going to last forever. We are going to get a break. We are going to be able to rest, and then we are going to come out of that refreshed.
Right.
We are going to clean the crap off of our hands and be good to go.
Yeah, he talks about, I wish I could, I'm not really good at quoting exactly where scripture is, but, there's the scripture talking about the mountains and the valleys. I think it's in the Psalms somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And, those valleys sure suck. That's where the crap is, right? But you've got to get through that to be able to climb the mountain sometimes. And it makes that so much sweeter.
Yes. One of my life mottos that I've always told myself through the years is, this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
And it will.
Yeah. Yeah.
And whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. We get, I feel like right now we're in this season of, everything's new and exciting with spring.
With spring.
Yeah,
yes.
it just is.
Yeah.
It's not cold. We're not miserable outside. But, this greatness too will pass.
Yes.
I hate to say it like that in that manner.
It will.
But, we have the mosquito season coming, and it's just going to be so muggy and hot that we can't grow anything or do anything outside. And
the bugs are going to take over.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And then we'll be in that season for a bit, and everything's going to be that much harder to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But it will pass. And we'll move on to another growing season before a season of rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's all important.
It is. It's all really about the cycle of life. It's not really, for me, about the garden per se. It's more about people and health and life and his creation. And I mean, one of the first really big awesome garden that I did, I was just so blown away at how much it was showing off his creation.
Yeah.
It was wow, he is showing off.
It's pretty cool. It's not only that's where he meets me.
Yep.
And where I hear him if I let him, because sometimes
if
I'm quiet, sometimes y'all don't just put your earbuds in and go to the garden to work.
Yeah.
I'm so guilty of that sometimes. And then I realize I get quite addicted to that noise.
Yes.
That extra noise. And then I have to really make an effort to leave it in the house when I go out.
Yeah.
And because I realize I start to get in this funk, in this mood, and I'm not open to him. I'm not hearing him.
Yep.
I'm not leaving space for him. And so when I do, profound things come. I'll never forget, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and I posted this on my personal Facebook. So if you know me, you may remember it. But we have such a hard time. We have had such a hard time growing spaghetti squash. I don't know why.
Okay.
I mean, spaghetti squash was something that we were eating a lot of. And I would lose it to one thing or another. I just couldn't ever get it from the garden to the table.
Right.
I got close, and then it would all die before it was ripe.
Yeah.
It was so every year I was so upset with it. Well, then I was playing around with a little compost project, and we had a construction project going on right nearby where I was composting kitchen scraps. And I had dropped some spaghetti squash seeds in there. And this was just a store-bought spaghetti squash.
Okay.
And quit turning that compost because we were doing the construction project. And lo and behold, spaghetti squash grew. And I didn't know what it was when it first sprouted. It's not uncommon to have some seeds sprout out of that, because I throw all the seeds in. And it's not a hot compost to kill them. So I, knew it was oh, this is some kind of squash or melon, or this is exciting.
Right.
I didn't really know what it was until as I watched it grow and learned what spaghetti squash vines are supposed to look like when they're healthy. And we got so many squash, we got tired of it. But that was just a handful of seeds that we did nothing to.
Right.
God did it,
Right.
And then when we pulled that first squash off of the vine and we cut it open and went, wow, look at all these seeds in here.
Yes.
And there were at the time another dozen or so squash growing and ripening that were also all full of seeds. And it immediately hit me in my head oh, So, the Great Commission is to go out and spread the good news of, that Jesus Christ is risen.
Right.
And if we do that and live our lives as a witness to him, how many people can we touch? And then how many people can they touch? And how many people can they touch? And that lesson just came to me, and that obviously I knew that. I had read that several times.
Right.
But they're in the garden with a tangible example of these seeds.
Something
that can grow exponentially.
Right, out of something that you just discarded.
Right. And that was the other cool part of it. The other side of it, it actually gives me chills just thinking about it, was that this was a volunteer plant that did its thing on its own. It didn't need me. It was hardy. It was strong.
Right.
And it just flourished. I did nothing to it. God did it all.
Yes.
It was really cool.
Really, if you take enough time to really look around, his creation was done perfectly.
Right.
He made it all to where it'll actually work.
Yeah.
It's created in the most perfect way, where if we're just good stewards with what we have, things will flourish.
Yeah, I just needed to get out of my own way and let him.
Yes.
And just let him. You want to know a little, the tail end of that story is we had one squash left when we moved, or we had a couple left when we moved last year, and they're winter squash, so they get a hard rind on them, and you've bought those at the store, but they last in the pantry for a while. And the last one, honestly, I think we just got tired of spaghetti squash because we had so many. So it was 2 years ago. We had so many of them. And so this last one lasted until 4 or 5 months ago. And we didn't eat it. It started to rot. And I just threw it out in the garden. And I had a bag, the bottom of a bag of compost that was really woody, chippy. I wasn't going to use it in anything else. And I said, just go, we were cleaning up. I said, just go dump that on top of that spaghetti squash over there and leave it alone and, throw away the bag. Well, there is a whole pile of seeds sprouting out of it right now. So I hope that continues on. And, that'll just always be a lovely reminder of, what he spoke to me through growing that. Not that I grew it, but he did it.
Yeah.
But he did it. So, yeah, it is. It's definitely about more than just the garden, and more than putting food on the table.
It's way more than that.
Because if it was that, I would just go to the grocery store and buy all the food.
Right, and put it on the table.
Right. But yeah, so doing the work, putting the time in, leaving the quiet space is where
being a good steward of what you have.
Right. Yeah. That's so big. That sounds so cliche. That's so big.
I know.
But it is. That's a huge part of it is, taking care of what you have, and being content with where you are.
Yeah. And
doing the best you can.
Yep.
I think is there any better way to live?
Nope.
Well, on that note, we hope that you guys are out in your gardens and out on your farms, farming like girls.
That's right.
Doing the thing, doing the hard things.
Waiting to hear from him.
Getting the shit on your hands.
Right.
Dealing with all the stuff. Yeah.
Doing all the things.
Yeah. And using that time to really reflect and remember why you're doing it. Who you're doing it for.
Yeah. Because you'll get so much more than food out of it.
Right.
So much more.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So y'all go farm like a girl and serve one another and grow all the things and, let them in.
We'll be doing the same.
We will. So until next time, we'll see you.
Bye.